how does a busy couple make their investing life easier? Stay tuned. Welcome to this week's edition of NoteSchool TV, episode 226. And well, like all of the others in the past, this one is going to be amazing as well. We'll get started in just a minute, but before we do, let's take care of some housekeeping. Number one, make sure and go ahead and hit that like button. Yep, hit the like button, and then make sure and share this episode with all of your friends, your family, your associates, everybody that you know. It really helps us out when you do that. If you have not already subscribed to the NoteSchool TV channel, please go ahead and do that as well. And then number three, hit that ding, that bell notification, so that you'll be notified when we go live. When? Every Wednesday at 11:05 Central Time. And if you have any questions or would like to know more about what we do at NoteSchool TV, simply go to noteschooltv.com/TV. Again, noteschool.com/TV. And with that, I want to bring on, our founder of NoteSchool, our chief visionary officer, all-around good guy, Mr. Eddie Speed.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. How are you?
It's all good.
It's all good.
It really is.
It is, yeah.
The market is trending our way, and we are hopefully getting better and better at making it easier for people to apply this business. And I think our couple today will be good evidence of that. And so it's a good day.
It's a great day. So I'm going to drop off here. You guys have a great interview, and I'll see you at the end of the show.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, our interview today is with a couple, and we've caught them at a busy time in their clinic, and because they are taking care of children. And so they have taken a little time out of their day to do that. We're very excited to have Dr. David and Nancy Jimenez. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
You got a lot of sick kids in there this morning?
We're slammed, but we love what we do, and we're glad to see you again, Eddie and Joe.
It's awesome. So we're glad you guys are here. So we want to talk a little bit about your journey and kind of what led you to this. Obviously, you guys are in the medical field, and but I know one thing. I got to meet you at a class. We talked about the fact that you're very focused on a work-life balance, and you have a very impressive track record, not just in the medical world, you guys, but you also have a very impressive track record in investing. And we'll talk a little bit about that journey, and then we're going to talk about where it's kind of led you to today. So really, before you got to know NoteSchool, you guys were in a journey of rentals, and then all of a sudden you kind of switched gears. Let's talk about that.
Well, definitely. So we started about 16 years ago purchasing houses. We opened up our clinic down here in the Rio Grande Valley in Edinburgh. Mm-hmm. And it was just something that we're doing it was
2010.
We're purchasing 1-2 houses, and at that time the numbers just worked. They were not that expensive down here, and they were renting for it cash flowed. And then you blinked your eyes, the years went by, and we picked one house 1 year, 2 houses another year we bought 3 houses, and 1 year we bought 30 doors. Just luck. We just purchased them, and the numbers just worked. The ratios were there. And then as the years went by, and particularly the last 4 or 5 years, the property taxes creeped up, the property insurance has creeped up, especially the last 2 or 3 years. Last year, I think, Nancy, an entire portfolio went up, 30%, and that's because we've done no claims at all. No claims. We have an insurance broker. He sends us the bill. We budget. We pay it, and just went up. So it got to the point years where the insurance rates keep going up, and fortunately we were able to meet, Note School and meet you, and y'all's program that y'all have. We're very fortunate, right, Nancy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we say that the rental economy is just not the same as it was, and we say that because we talk to you guys like you all the time, and you say, well, it used to make perfect sense and the numbers worked, and now all of a sudden the numbers don't work. Properties have doubled in value, right? Rents have gone up about 20%, and expenses have gone up about 60%. And when you put that in a spreadsheet, that's very difficult math to keep adding to your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
So now your father is involved, David, in helping you with your rentals. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, so we're a family team here. We're very fortunate that my dad loves managing them. He loves maintaining them. He loves going out there collecting the rents. I don't get any calls from the tenants. Most don't even know I exist. They just they think my dad's a manager and the owner is someone in the background. They don't know who it is. And well, Nancy, she's she wears many hats. She's the office manager for our clinics. She's the in charge of the books, make sure the rents get collected, make sure the insurance gets paid, taxes get paid, in charge of the evictions, in charge of our staff at our busy clinics, and well, my dad is what, pushing his late 60s already, and we're not blind to what is to come. We don't trust property managers. If it's your father, he's not going to rip you off. He's going to get you the best deal. He's going to get you how do you say, he's going to take care of you because it's your dad. But I know you cannot, time is the only thing you cannot buy, and father time slowly is creeping up. And no, me and Nancy were like, what are we gonna do when he wants to slow down? We have a lot of properties that we need to maintain, and we have busy clinics as well. And so we when we heard of the note business, Nancy was like, that's exactly what we're looking for. That's what we want. Slowly transition our properties to notes, because when we went to the class, right? We went to the class together. We were sitting there while y'all do y'all's presentation, and the numbers made sense because over the years our properties have increased at least 8 to 10-fold, maybe 8-fold.
Mm-hmm. Eightfold, yeah.
Yeah. And then and when we collect rents, the rents say hypothetically $800 a month. We actually only get to keep like 30% of that, maybe 25% after you pay all the workers, you pay the taxes, you pay the insurance, you upkeep. Every 10 years you gotta do the roof, you gotta do the soffits, you gotta do the, what's the main one? Water heaters
The water heaters.
and the air conditioners. And air conditioners will go down
always
like,
give out.
those go down like nothing, and then redoing, and I'm up here. I just keep an eye on the numbers. Nancy's in charge of like the other stuff, and my dad's actually out there with his crew out there running around doing stuff and that's something that that
How many rentals do you have? How many rentals you have, David?
Right now, currently we have 52 properties, and it's a mixture of houses, multis, and medical office buildings. We have about 100 and what, 12? About 112 doors. Initially, we're buying them all, within 30-mile radius of where we're our base. So it's not, we're not like all over the place. We're a small fish in a big pond. But
well, and the story with your dad is unusual, obviously, because you have somebody that you trust and can do it. A lot of people are trying to fool with it themselves, or they are trying to deal with a property manager and they're not doing that. I want to go back to really what attracted you guys to Notes. And it sounds like to me that the reason you became attracted is because you like the math.
Mm-hmm.
The hands-free.
For Nancy, it's more the hands-free, because as you create a note, then you get a servicer and they deposit the money into your.
Not a lot else to
Checking
do,
account?
right, Nancy?
Exactly.
Nancy just has to check the checking account. Did it get deposited? Check. As opposed to with the renter, credit history, all that
Components.
all that fun stuff, which we like it, but this is better because the way it was explained was, and we saw it, is the money coming in, say it's like what, 2 to 3 times what we're collecting right now. You get to keep it all. Except you got to pay Uncle Sam if you don't have it in a separate or whatever, but you get to keep it all, as opposed to, half of it going to El Tío, going to Uncle Sam, or half of it going to, different locations.
Yeah.
We like that part. So we're slowly learning, watching all the prior classes, and we like the community that y'all had there, the environment, the honesty, the integrity, the culture that you have, and the experience. I know you have many years of experience, and we just felt right. Like Nancy said, it just feels right. I mean, it's not for everybody, but for us, it was at the right time, at the right place, at the right stage of our career, our life right now.
That's awesome. So I want to go back a little bit, and I want to give you a saying that I think kind of relates to people learning from our class, right? And because I want to talk about you're coming to the class, but Henry Ford said, if I asked the public what they wanted, they would have said faster horses, right? So sometimes we don't know what we want until we see a different idea. So I want to go back to the class and how that sort of transformed you, because did you know anything about note buying before you really came to the class?
Zero. We knew zero about note buying. We, over the last 15 years, we've created a few notes like owner finance to people that we trusted, but we just got lucky that the person that we owner financed to, they were, how do you say? My dad, over the years, he's got very good at reading people.
Yeah.
It's something you learn by the years going by. So
yes.
Fortunately, these people that we owner finance to, they paid. They gave the down payment. We never missed a payment. One of them paid us off, right? Like one of them, within 4 or 5 years, she said, "You know what? I just want to pay you off," and they just paid us off. Yeah. And the other one is still paying us off, and we just got lucky. But when we went to the class, we're like, okay, this is good, because now we're gonna learn how to do it the right way. Make a note that's valuable. I mean, we can actually trade it later on, or by doing it the right, by getting the RMLO, by getting the credit check and all that stuff, and doing it the right way, which we like to do things the right way. It's just if you don't know it exists, you just don't know.
I think that's the key to it, right? Clearly, you're super educated. You run quite a business. You're very sophisticated folks, but we don't know what we don't know. And you come to class, and all of a sudden, we started doing kind of a comparative analysis, right? A stress test of our businesses, right? Of rentals and the time and the net income of a rental versus notes. And tell me about what that felt like.
You're leaving, right, Nancy? You're like, we gotta go for it. And we actually did go straight, started watching all the classes, learning about how to set it all up. And the transition was very good, because you have the huddle sessions with Joe, and we're all growing as a team. No question is too what do you say? The question not asked is there's no dumb questions. You ask a question, we're all learning. You don't get criticized, and we're growing together. And especially when you see how the numbers work and the transitioning of the portfolio from something that's labor intensive, time intensive, paperwork intensive. There's so many moving wheels. And
Yeah.
then we have our offices that are so many moving wheels over here, so many staff that we take care of, our patients. And then something with like you go in, you just create the note and it's more simple. Right?
So there's basically two ways to have a note portfolio, right? You can convert your rentals, or you can buy a brand new property and make a note out of it, right? Or you can go buy somebody else's note. Now, obviously, you have a lot of rentals. I know you're considering running the modeling, so you're considering each of your properties and to say which one's easier to keep it as a rental or do a note. That doesn't mean you have to convert all of your rentals. Then the other side is, as I know that you've dealt with kind of our done for you side, where we help go find somebody else's notes. Talk about that for a minute. That's not something necessarily in your backyard. It's something to where you're buying a note on a first mortgage on somebody else's property.
We purchased a note. When was it? December?
December.
About 2-3 months ago, and we loved it. It was so easy. They were very responsive. Like we would email and they would respond within a few minutes. We would do conferences through Zoom, schedule it. She would respond. Monica was awesome. We talked to her, and she would listen to your goals. She would ask you like, "What do you want? Do you want this or this road or this road?" And she would she would present different notes that fit the path that you want to take. We liked how the due diligence was all presented to you, nice, wrapped, tidy. You get everything on a little strip. It's on there. You see the BPO, the tax records, the ITV, the loan to value. Everything is so organized, so simple, and it's all wrapped up nicely. And then we also like that y'all work with a company called Easy Title, where they handle all the recording, the conveyance of the documents, all that stuff. They're very responsive as well. Just DocuSign everything. Everything's done digitally. Like we don't have to go to a title company, or you don't have to go to an office and wait there and sign some paper. It's
It's all done.
Yeah,
for
we're
you.
trying to
it's all done. It's all
use
done for
every
you.
we're trying to use every vendor and every technology out there today, because we do realize you're busy, and when you're not at the clinic, you're wanting to go be able to have that quality of lifetime, that what we all work for, right?
Exactly. Yes. Especially in spending time with our family, or our little ones. It's that's the best thing. You know, Transitioning slowly to be able to, we love to travel. Traveling and spending quality time with our kids, giving them how do you say, memories?
Making lots of memories with them and not chasing renters and chasing rents. So that's what forced us and drove us to get into, Note School.
Nancy, what I hear?
What is that?
David has somebody else, his dad, kind of dealing with the stress of these rentals.
Yes.
But you're on the bookkeeping side and you're on the administrative side, and that you're referring back to, it's kind of a suck, right? It's kind of a life suck a little bit.
It is. Yeah. Every month it's the same thing over and over, and it does take a lot of your time. So I'm kind of getting to the end of the road where it's kind of like, okay, let's do something else, to where we're still in real estate, but we're not as hands-on as I am now. I want something to be less hands-on.
We love to take our boys on cruises, and usually the cruises are 1 to 2 weeks. We did a 3-week cruise last year, and it doesn't fail. You're on the middle of the cruise, you're relaxing 5 days in, and dad's calling us, oh, this happened, or asking questions like, how much does this person pay rent? What was the deposit? How much can you check the contract for this house at this location? And well, I'm blessed that Nancy is super organized. Whenever we go, she has all her books. She has it all old school. It's not this fancy computer, whatever. She has actual notebooks with a pen. She writes down, she highlights. Every time she accepts a rent, she'll write it in there. It's like a ledger, and it's a huge
Yeah.
book. We could be on those. We're in what, Norway last year, and we're in Norway. She's out there in the fjords, and she's out there. Okay, let's pay this. She's doing her bookkeeping stuff out there. So,
Well,
that's
the thing about it is this, and that is, I think that rentals have always sort of had those pains, but
Mhm.
once again, the market changed. Now, I say properties have doubled in value. You're saying you've owned them for a long time, so they've more than doubled in value, right? But just in the past few years, because of the virus, properties kind of doubled in value, right?
Mhm.
So the property that did cost 100,000 now costs 200,000 for the same house, right?
Correct.
But what
Correct.
happened is rents went up they went up, and now they've kind of settled back down. And most people say at about 20% increase in rents, right? So properties double in value, but rents didn't double. Rents went up about 20%,
Mm-hmm.
but expenses went up by 60%.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
so
sense. Yes.
that's this weird math that caused you would have come to the class initially and says what caused the problem. What you now say is it caused you to see the opportunity
Yes.
because it's more profitable to be the bank than a landlord.
Yes, and it's a good way to how do you say, to lock in the gains, okay? Because we're in a border town down here, and it's a lot of, it's a lot of poverty down here. And back in the day when we first started purchasing it, can I say numbers, or
Sure.
they were going for 20 to 30K a door, okay? And
Yeah.
we're actually buying multis for 30K a door. And fast forward 15 years, and now they want 150K a door for the quads.
Same
And
house.
people are buying them. People
Same
are buying
house.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, same house. The 20K one, they're going for what, 180 to 240.
240. Yeah.
240. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no way you can rent these out for $2,000 some dollars down here. The income's not here for that. So the only way to go is, through owner finance. And we're back the circle. There's a season for everything. It's cyclical. There's a time where it's good to be purchasing, and there's times like right now. It's just the interest rates are not going down. They're traditionally what, 7-8%. That's what it was back in the good old days. Not the 80s. 80s it was 15, 16, 18%.
Yeah.
But I don't see the interest rates going back down to 1 or 2%. I think we're stuck at 6, 7, 8% for a while.
Well, and once again, the money, the economics of it is pretty good. We're pretty good, as you know, at getting to the classes and stress testing a portfolio. You're making this much money doing it this way. What if you reposition it and you did it this way? Would it make a difference? And you guys have seen that math. Nancy, I don't think anybody would question your numbers or your abilities to analyze those numbers. I think you're pretty dang good at it, right? And I agree with you. And the other thing is, though, I think, Nancy, you said the most important thing, and that is, I tell people that you can own 1,000 notes or 55 rentals for the same work. Time.
Time.
You can't buy that back, can you?
Nope.
Sure can't.
And I love the fact that you guys are doing the cruises and all that stuff, because my father-in-law, who introduced me to this business, 45 years ago, he said something to me. My father-in-law's been dead over 25 years, right? He passed away 25 years, more than 25 years ago. But he wrote a message to me in his will, and he said, money spent on fond memories is never wasted. And so I think that's what you guys are doing, and you now have the freedom to do it. So I want to kind of spin back around to the most important thing, right? And this is where we all get to in life. You guys both have a lot of training and medical, a lot of time, a lot of commitment, a lot of dollars to go now have patients and people you serve and take care of. But for you, what is your why, and how does the notes, do you feel like, helps you change how you apply your why?
Why? I gotta tell you, the honest, my family, my kids, my wife, that is my all. Okay, the reason why we do all we do, our drive to get up every morning, is my family. Like I said, we love to travel. We take a lot of vacations because we work very hard. We do a nonstop. And Nancy jokes that my theme song is "On the Road Again" by Willie Nelson. Well, let's go. We're on the road again. Never got to travel growing up. Our vacations was go to San Antonio, go to South Padre Island. And with traveling, we get to open up our kids' eyes of what's out there, experiencing not just our little circle we have here. They get to go and see, different states, different environments, and that gives them memories. Like you said, money spent on memories, not money spent. That's the core memories they're building, and they won't forget that. And in the end, those memories is all we got. Okay, so we get private teaching moments that they won't forget, and we get to work on our sons, instilling integrity, responsibility, honesty, making them likable and good citizens when they grow up. And I always like to say, the days are long, but the years are short. I always remind my patients, take pictures of your kids, because you blink, they're walking. You blink again, they're going to school. You blink and they're gone. And you only get 2 decades with them, so that the years fly by.
They do, and I'm so glad you did it, and I'm so glad, because I know that we can imagine how busy you are in running these clinics, these medical practices, and you obviously have been very entrepreneurial in addition to that. But I'm so glad that our lives kind of collided, right? What I've lived for a long time, we kind of collided together, and you got to see that, and you got to see I can get more income with less work and more time with the things that matter the most. And you just became a great life story for people that haven't necessarily, like, doing this interview. This is showing somebody that's not quite where you're at yet. And I laugh and think it was just only a few short months ago that you were in this situation where they are. You found out about this note thing. It became intriguing. You came to it. I never will forget you at the class. Like, I won't forget our conversations at the class, because you said, this is just something we hadn't thought about. Well, this is just life. All of us are this way. Like, we don't know until we know, and then boom, it's there. And that's exactly how I saw you guys. My most exciting part was thinking about your family and your situation, less stress for you, Nancy. Like, that matters a lot. And and as you know, I'm pretty family oriented, and we love the idea of legacy. And I see you guys are building that. We just hope we're helping you build it in a more efficient way.
That's true. And it's funny, when I'm watching some videos sometimes, and then my son walks in and he starts doing calculations, 50%, 30%. He's trying to do it on his head, and he's getting into that 10B, pushing the buttons on top, and you're not lecturing, but they're learning by mimicking dad, mom, by seeing our examples. And that's one of the best ways of learning. That's how it used to be done in the old days, by a vocational, and you learn your trade. And something that's that I see is kind of gone now, kind of different now. It's not as acceptable right now. So, and no, when we went, we're like, there's no need to how do you say reinvent the wheel. When we met you and your staff and all the experience and all the knowledge and what you created, it was like a no-brainer for us to to leverage y'all's skills, y'all's knowledge, and I always I always feel I'm thankful that we're able to cross paths and to join y'all.
Listen, only thing we gave you was a compression of time. You could have figured out any of it. It's just that we could lend you decades of experience and pull it down into a compression of time, and a compression of time of how it relates to the market right now, so we can focus on the right things. And that's really all that it is. We look at Note School every day and think we're just simply giving people an ability to get a fast forward lesson, the kind of the ESPN version, right? What did 4 football games look like on Sunday? Well, what if we could tell you in 30 minutes versus watching 4 football games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some of that. You guys, we are so glad to have you. I'm so thrilled to see that you're a part of what we're trying to accomplish. And we're just glad to have you. Joe, close us up, my friend.
All right. Nancy, you and David are a great couple. We appreciate you being here and sharing your story, right? It's everybody loves to hear a great story, and you guys have lived it and you continue to live it. And I remember at the class, you were showing me pictures of the boys and when you were on a cruise ship, right? And so on. So we just appreciate you being a part of Note School and for doing this interview today. Know you're busy. So with that, we'll see you soon. And guys, thanks so much for watching this episode today, and make sure and share it with your friends. Again, if you'd like to know more about what we do at Note School, simply go to noteschool.com/TV, and we will see you next week at 11:05 Central Time. Thanks, and have a great week.